Massive day for Bitmain yesterday, about 10% increase. Ethereum went through the roof, and all of this just before the Fed said anything at all. In this video, we will dive in why, and let's dive in.
Welcome to the game, I'm the wolf of Dubai.
So Bitmain just exploded yesterday, and I bought more of Bitmain as I'm doing every single day. As you can see here, I bought about like a couple of $1,000 worth of Bitmain, and I also buying between like $3,000 to $20,000 every single day. Okay, if you never watched one of my videos, then my name is Danny, and I'm looking for stocks that can go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. And I did this, for example, with Tesla. I bought it at 23. I put my life savings into that. It went to 11, so you can see how stressful that was. But looking back, you know, it was worth every single day of stress, because now it's closer to 500 than it ever was, right? So as you can see, sometimes picking the winners and just staying for a very long time is something very important. And something like this is also said by Tom Lee recently. We will dive into a clip in a couple of seconds. But I also want to emphasize that beside long-term investing, a great idea is also to trade every single day, right? So for example, I traded this week with my group with already 2 out of 2 trades, 100% win rate so far. We are waiting currently what the Fed will do, but you can be part of this and you can receive all the trades all automatically into your portfolio if you want to. Yes, you can. If you want that, then make sure to check out xnDayTrading.com and schedule a call with me personally, and we see if we can help you as well. Now, if you like that, what you're hearing, then you will even like more what kind of results we had over the last 3 years. Okay, we want to achieve about 8 to 15% growth per month in your portfolio. So if you start with $10,000, you should be somewhere around $58,000. And this is how our AutoPilot software looks like. You just switch it on, everything is done for you. So let's dive in. So why did Ethereum and Bitmain actually went that high, right? So there's a couple of reasons. So first of all, technically, we went over 35. I said it to you guys, if 35 is broken, then we will see actually 40s. Okay, so we have now tested the 40s yesterday, and now it all depends on the Fed. There's a couple of outcomes for the Fed. First, we cut, and they give us outlooks on further cuts next year. Then they give us cuts, but they say less cut next year, or they don't give us any cuts. Well, that would be very bearish. And the last thing is they don't cut, and they say in the future they will not cut. That would be catastrophic, but you know, that will be not the case. So either it's one of the first two. So I think that we will get the cut, because the Fed always want to not scare the market as well. If they see 85% of the market participants think of a rate cut, they will also do that. Okay, they don't want to bring the market under pressure even more with their actions, right? But let's dive into Bitmain itself, right? So Bitmain actually had a fantastic run over the last couple of weeks since the low, right? I said it so many times. I believe it's the low at 24, 25. I said, like, guys, this is the low, this is the bottom, and indeed the was, right? So you can see here that listening to our statements and our research maybe makes sense if you're a long-term portfolio owner of Bitmain. Now let's dive into a clip of Tom Lee. Tom Lee actually came out on his channel and talked about the 10 best days, what this means and how you can translate this to holding Bitmain. Let's dive in.
So let me start with some macro, and I want to emphasize something that we've talked about at Fundstrat in the past many times, which is called the 10 best days, or the rule of 10 best days. And to give you some context, I think it explains why people are bearish this year. In fact, if you're bearish this year, you are consensus. Currently, the bulls less bears, according to AAII, stand at minus 10.7. And if you look at the weekly reading for AAII all year, bears have dominated market sentiment all year. There have only been 12 weeks where investors have been positive. Now, why is that? I think it has to do with the fact that people have been trying to time the market. The rule of 10 best days states that the S&P makes most of its annual gains in just 10 days. And it means don't time the market. And this year was a really stark example. Since 1928, the S&P has returned 8% a year. Excluding the 10 best days, though, it's minus 13%. That means you missed out on 2,100 basis points if you didn't own the 10 best days in every year. Since 2016, this rule's also held. The S&P's returned 14%, but it's minus 9% if you don't have the 10 best days. That's 2,300 basis points a year. All of the gains basically in the market are made in 10 days. Let's just look at the last 3 years. In 2023, the S&P was up 24%, but excluding the 10 best days, it was up only 4. In 2024, the S&P was up 23%. Excluding the 10 best days, it was up only 4%. And this year, the S&P is up 16%, but if you exclude the 10 best days, you're down 12%. Huge difference. So let's look at those 10 best days of every year. In total, the 10 best days in 2025 were particularly stark, 32%. So you really had to be involved in the 10 best days. But that top 10 day was April 9th, 2025, when the market was up 9.5%. So that was the tariff lows. If you missed that day, you've had a bad year. And excluding the 10 best days, the market's down 12% this year. Okay, so it's the tariff bear market that determined everything. Here's the single best day of 2025 right there, that big candle. And if you didn't own it, by the way, after that day, you also missed out on the best 6-month gain we've seen in more than a decade. Okay, hopefully that makes it clear that you need to own stocks and try not to time the market.
So as you can see, what he actually telling us is don't forget about the 10 days in the market over a year can produce most of the gains, right? So let's assume that we have a couple of days of Bitcoin going plus 25%, another 25%, 15%, 18%, right? So those will be the 10 best days, right? Those performance could be the most rewarding for the overall performance of the whole year, right? I believe that Bitcoin has a fantastic year ahead. Not only we have the Fed cuts today, but we have also the start of the staking in January. We have new products coming out of the market, the reaching of the 5%, increasing of the Ethereum gold to 10%. So you can see here that there's a lot of interesting upcoming situations for Tom Lee to upgrade the experience for the Bmnr shareholder. By the way, I booked already my flight and my hotel for the annual shareholder meeting for Bitcoin. I will be in Vegas in mid of January. So let me know if you are there as well, and would love to see some of you guys. Well, there's one more thing. When we're looking into those levels and the sentiment on the market and Ethereum, we maybe lose some track. What is very important for the future of Bitcoin are two things. First is the overall market in a good shape, and can it bull run from here, right? Then you need to understand, okay, what about the underlying? Can the underlying be so strong that it actually build like a base at 3,000, and hopefully we never revisit this kind of levels ever again, and we see rather 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000, right? So that's the second point. And the last point is what as a company Bitcoin can actually deliver in the new year, right? So some of the things I said already, some of the things will be surprises, some of the things will be new moonshots. There will be so much stuff to see, guys, that I'm extremely excited for this opportunity. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe, like, and also check out xnDayTrading.com. We're raising our joining fee every month, so don't forget that there's limited places. Schedule a call with me personally, and we see if we can help you as well. Now, I see you obviously tomorrow for a brand new vlog, because the grass is greener always on the other side.